There is a decision that gives you a result. If the result is acceptable to you, then it's a right decision. Plan is always a theory because it is a futuristic steps of actions which you have put either in your head or on paper. Planning is working in the direction of your expectation. But when you reach there, you will discover that your expectation is not fulfilled. Then you need plan B.
In the bargain to make the right decision, I struggle and I waste a lot of time whether this decision is right or wrong. And sometimes I get stuck up. So, is there something like a right decision?
There is a decision that gives you a result. If the result is acceptable to you, then it's a right decision.
But how do you even know the result before, unless you go in that circumstances?
100% you will not know, but there is something called a plan of action and an expectation of results. Your plan of action depends on your level of knowledge. If your knowledge is adequate, then your plan is likely to succeed. If your knowledge is inadequate, then the chances of failure are higher. Despite your knowledge, your planning, and your steps being exhaustive, you can still fail circumstantially because the circumstances may not be envisaged by you. Yeah, like I plan to take a trip from wherever I am to wherever I wish to go. And I planned everything. My car was full of fuel and I took all the necessary belongings that I want to carry. And suddenly it rained so heavily that the whole traffic was disrupted and I couldn't reach the destination. So the circumstances are not in my control. What is in my control is what I can execute myself.
So, all this planning again will be like a theory. You don't know it experientially.
Plan is always a theory because it is a futuristic steps of actions which you have put either in your head or on paper.
So again, I'll give you an example now. When I chose dentistry, but I did not actually choose dentistry. I wanted to become a doctor, so I wanted to do MBBS. I lacked 2 marks less for MBBS and I was highly disappointed. But I went into dentistry and the decision was made for what it was a second decision, but I made it right. And today I'm very happy being a dentist. So I want to come to that query that is there something like a right decision? Can you know it in advance? How much of a theory you...
Take your example. No, you didn't know in advance that you will get 2 marks less. So at that point of time, it was a wrong decision.
Yeah.
Correct? But at hindsight, what option do you have? Either take a drop and reappear and try to score the adequate marks to become an MBBS, or not waste a year and take whatever option is available for you. Dentistry was the next viable option which you considered. And today you are saying that it turned out to be a right decision. So at that point of time, whatever was a wrong decision happens to be the right decision today. So right and wrong are perspectives.
So instead of wasting a lot of time and getting stuck into the process of making the decision, can you intuitively take a decision and then put efforts and make it right?
Yes, that is also an option. But then you are also taking a chance of being unprepared for eventualities which could be tackled in a meticulous planning. So sometimes I decide to have fun with no plan. Yeah. So have fun means what? I have not defined what is having fun. Is it lazing, doing nothing? Is that my idea of fun? Is it going for a movie in a theater outside? Is that my idea of fun? Is it collecting friends and having a party? Is that my idea? I've just said fun and there is no definition. So I might end up not having fun for doing something which I didn't plan.
Yeah. So you need to have a planning, like a plan A, and you need to also have a plan B.
Planning is working in the direction of your expectation. But when you reach there, you will discover that your expectation is not fulfilled. Then you need plan B. that suppose that thing doesn't work out, then what? I decided to go to a mountain top to witness a waterfall. When I reached the base of the mountain, the road was closed by the municipal corporation. You are not allowed to go up. Now I cannot see the waterfall. Then what do? I have traveled all the way to the mountain. So should I go back feeling disappointed, or should I make the most of it by, okay, let me not go to the top of the mountain, let me just explore around the mountain. Plan B?
Usually, the most successful people are fast decision makers. They are first in the line and they go ahead. So, what is that separates them from the procrastinate?
Risk, the ability to take risk. Quick decision makers are knowingly or unknowingly risk takers. Because when you take a decision, you are creating an outcome. Whether the outcome will be favorable or unfavorable is unknown. I am willing to take the risk, and therefore I take a decision like this. People who are contemplating, ye hua to, wo hua to, they are thinkers, not doers. So the difference between doers and thinkers is the difference between quick decision and slow decision.
So, how do you develop it or inculcate it?
Learn to take risks. You have always been a safe operator. अगर सब कुछ ठीक है तो मैं काम करूंगी, नहीं तो इधर नहीं जाना है. So you have to sometimes let go. For example, in my family, people don't risk investing in equity, share market. We want safe investments, fixed deposits, yeah, fixed returns. कमाएगा तो भी चलेगा, लेकिन पैसा जाना नहीं चाहिए, capital जाना नहीं चाहिए. My friends who have invested in the share market have made much more. They took the risk. We didn't take the risk, so we made about 7-8% per annum. These guys made 21%, 30%. तो हम डिसीजन क्यों नहीं ले पाते? हम रिस्क लेने को तैयार नहीं. This is just one example. It applies anywhere in life.
So, is it that to each his own?
Always. I can't live your life. You can't live my life. Your life is your own.
Yeah. Somebody could be better at risks and somebody
Fair enough.
be better at something.
Fair enough. I have accepted that I'm not a risk taker as far as investments are concerned. You ask me to take risks of talking on a subject, standing on a platform, I'll take that risk. I won't even think twice. चलो ये टॉपिक है, इस पे बात करो. Okay, I'm unprepared, but I will talk. इस स्क्रिप्ट में इन्वेस्ट करो. नहीं रे बाबा, इक्विटी मार्केट में नहीं करना है.
Is it because of fear?
Probably I might have lost. My experience in equity investments has not been good. So there is always a background why people behave the way they do.
But is the last experience always going to tell you what is there in the future?
Depends
It
on
could
me.
be a complete different
Depends on
experience
me.
altogether.
अभी मुझे वो रास्ते पे चलना ही नहीं. I took a decision. अभी कितना भी अपॉर्चुनिटी आने दो, शेयर मार्केट में go to the skies, I'm not looking at it. So well,
Not taking a decision also is a decision.
yes, is also a decision.
So sometimes you are in a situation where the results are important and not taking a decision is the worst decision. So how do you go about it?
Take the decision. Now you'll ask me, how do I take the decision? It's for you to decide. There's a nice anecdote on this subject that I liked a girl in college, and somehow I didn't have the courage to speak to her. Every time I used to muster up my courage and practice in front of the mirror, this is what I'm going to speak, and this is how I'm going to act, and this is how I'm going to dress. At the last moment, I would chicken out. In fact, I was so infatuated by her that I wanted to marry her. It was that kind of attraction, very powerful, very strong, but I never had the courage to approach her and talk to her. And it is now 45 years since that incident, and I see her with grandchildren who would have been mine, but they are not.
That was your personal decision and you went through the consequences. But in an institution, now in my clinic, I have a staff of 7 people, and it is going to affect all of them. So decision making is very important to me. So how do I go about it? Do I take some help from somewhere, Or how do I go about it?
So number one, that was not my personal example. So otherwise you will give some wrong impression. I was just quoting an example, okay? Otherwise people will say, "Arey, sir ne aisa kuch kiya." Now coming to your question, that you are taking a decision on behalf of your 7 employees and you have no choice but to take a decision. So then you take a decision, right or wrong, you face the consequences. Sometimes you take the wrong decision. You want to close the clinic, it will affect 7 employees. It's a decision you have to take. You took the decision, it turned out to be a wrong decision, 3 of your employees sued you. Face it. Decision was yours to close the clinic, or decision was yours to continue the clinic despite the difficulties you are encountering in running the clinic. It is not having enough clientele, you are not making enough profits, you cannot pay the salaries, but you, out of your passion, want to continue to run the clinic. Then you will have to shell out money from your pocket to meet the salaries. It's a consequence of your decision. Either way, either you close the clinic or you run the clinic. Consequences are for you to face. That is the risk I am talking of. Are you ready to take the risk? Sometimes you have no choice to answer that question. You have to take the risk.
You have to take this.
So take it.
And you have to deal with the consequences.
You have no escape. Where will you run if 3 employees sue you? Where do you escape? You have to face the courts. You have to face their lawyers. You have to spend the money on the legal proceedings. So it is a consequence of a decision. Why people don't take decisions is because they are not ready to face the consequences, or they don't know what are the consequences. These are the 2 situations. I don't know मेरा decision लेने से आगे क्या होने वाला है, तो मैंने नहीं लिया, और मैंने decision लिया तो ये होने वाला है, मेरी हिम्मत नहीं है.
मेरी हिम्मत नहीं है.
So decision making is an important step in life, and there are several decisions which you need to categorize. Some are crucial decisions where there is no procrastination, there is no scope for avoiding those decisions. You need to take those decisions. Certain decisions are minor, and whether you take them or not, or whether you procrastinate, it's not going to impact your life to such an extent. Those decisions can be treated lightly, whether you take them or not. अभी घर में साफ सफाई करनी है, ठीक है, फेस्टिवल आने को और 1.5 महीना बाकी है, आज नहीं करूंगा, कल करूंगा, यू प्रोक्रेस्टिनेट. कौन सा आसमान टूटने वाला है? अचानक कोई गेस्ट आ गया, आपका घर अनटाइडी दिख रहा है, ठीक है, सो पीपल विल से यू लिव अनटाइडी. लिव तो आपको ही करना है ना, whether the guest says it or doesn't say it doesn't matter. So those decisions are not important. You need to identify what is important in your life, and those decisions you can't postpone. You have to will yourself to take those decisions and put those decisions into action. That is where people make mistakes.